Hey guys, my name is Matthew. A few weeks ago, I took a trip to Costa Rica to get some dental work done. I've had a lot of questions about how much it cost me, how much should I save by going there, and what would it look like for someone else to do the same thing. So today, I'm going to do a cost comparison between what it costs for me to go to Costa Rica and get dental work done versus what it would have cost for me to stay here in the United States and get the same work done. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. Hey guys, so in order to kind of tell you what the cost differences are between Costa Rica and the United States, I actually have to start by telling you what work I actually got done. So obviously there was some basic stuff that I got done that you'll need to get done no matter where you go and no matter what you do. Those are things like the basic dental exam and x-rays and teeth cleanings and things like that. The two really big things that got done were, one, I had 9 fillings in my mouth that needed to be worked on. And then 2, I needed to have the 8 crowns that basically reconstruct this first part of my mouth. These upper top 8 were all redone. They actually were 2 crowns and 2 partial crowns and 4 veneers. And when I show you the cost comparison, I'll just call them all crowns because the cost is the same for those things. In addition to that, I also had 1 root canal and I had an extraction site as well. I think that's it. No, and I also got my teeth whitened. So in order to kind of match the new teeth, the old teeth had to be whitened. Obviously I have the actual cost of what I spent while I was there, and I'll show you that line by line. So I actually looked at tons and tons of websites, but this website is the one that I really recommend. So the only way you can know for sure how much something is going to cost is you have to call around to dental clinics and actually find out, which is what I did to get my quote. I'll show you here though how we're going to kind of come up with one number as opposed to a range. And I'll show you first with filling a cavity. So filling a cavity, here it says that it could cost $50 to $300, but that is for the silver filling. The one that we got is this tooth colored composite, and so that's $90 to $450. That's quite a range. It's, you know, not one single number that we can compare to. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to take the median of that number, and the way we'll do that, taking a median of 2 numbers is really easy. You're just going to take 90 plus 450, and you're just going to divide that number by 2. So the median of this average is $270, and that's the number that we're going to use. When you call around to different clinics in your area, you'll find you'll get a whole wide range of numbers. And what I found was if someone charged less for fillings, they were charging more for crowns, or they were charging more for extractions. And so my numbers for different clinics, mostly they all added up to be about the same amount of money no matter where I went. So this is how we're going to pull all of our numbers for the Excel document that I'll show you, is we're going to go on here and we're going to find the right ones. So in this case, like we'll go down to dental crowns, it's $500 per tooth for porcelain fused metal, but that's not what I got. And I didn't get a metal alloy. I got this one that's all porcelain. So the cheapest that they say they ever find them in the United States is $800. The most expensive is $3,000 per crown. And then one also good point to mention here is that crowns are not typically covered by insurance if they're considered cosmetic. So your insurance will not help you with cosmetic crowns. Typically, you may think, oh, my insurance will cover this. It may or it may not. We're going to shoot over to this Excel document and kind of look line by line what things cost. We'll go through the United States first. Exam visits often cost $200. Tooth cleanings are $115. X-rays are $115. Fillings cost about $270 per filling. Crowns are $1,900 per filling, a root canal is $900, whitening is $650, and extraction is $262. And then obviously, if you're here in the United States, you're not paying extra for flights or hotel or food. All the dental costs are cost directly from my bill, so it shows me exactly where they charge me for what things. These are the things. So my exam cost me $80. One thing to note actually about this, the exam and the office visit are actually listed as 2 different line items on the cost comparison. I just took the lower one, which is $200, but you may end up paying more than that. You may pay for the office visit and for the exam. That's something to be aware of, is you may actually pay twice for that, whereas when I was in Costa Rica, I just paid the once, and that cost $80. My teeth cleaning was $110. Didn't save a lot of money there, just a little bit on the medium cost of a teeth cleaning x-rays. They didn't charge me for any of my x-rays. I had x-rays taken right at the beginning and then also some in the middle that I needed. Fillings are $110 a piece, and this is where you really start seeing some cost savings. Even the low end of fillings are $90, so we're the low end of what anyone gets charged in the United States for fillings. You could potentially save money there in the United States if you found the right place to do your fillings. All right, next cost, and this is where you really start to see the cost savings, is for crowns. So average cost of crowns in the United States is $1,900. The average cost, actually this is the cost that I spent, was $500 a piece. The absolute lowest cost you ever see in the United States, according to this website, is only $800. So maybe you could find someone who did really quality crowns, Emax crowns, the porcelain crowns, for $800, but this is still $300 less than that. And so in my case, I'm getting eight of them. That costs $4,000 instead of $15,000. That's where the majority, the bulk of my savings comes from, is the fact that these crowns are done in-house. So the dental clinic that I went to, they save money by doing these in-house. They have a machine downstairs that does these. The root canal I wasn't charged for. My whitening was significantly cheaper, about $300 cheaper than what it would have been cost here in the United States. They also didn't charge me for my extraction, but that would normally cost $260. Here's some costs, obviously, that negate some of the savings, right? So I had to fly over. This number may look really low to some of you guys, and it is a low number. So $226.83. That number is the number that I actually ended up spending on the flight. My flight, though, actually cost me $526.83, so $300 more than that. I was able to use the Chase Sapphire Reserve credit card, which gives me a $300 travel credit every year. When I was in Atlanta for a few hours, I was able to stay in a lounge and get free food and beverage. Also, my TSA pre-check was paid for me. The CSR, the Chase Sapphire Reserve card, is really, really good credit card for traveling. I'll definitely do a video in the future about how to kind of hack your credit card and how to get different credit cards and sign up bonuses to help you to travel for cheaper and maybe even for free. You can get free hotels, free flight. There's lots of free things you can get using your credit card bonuses. In the meantime, though, I will just link to a friend's Instagram account. He travels around the world for free with his 2 kids and his wife. They leave for trips constantly all the time. I think they're going to Bali soon. My hotel, I mentioned before in my last video, I spent $450 on it. That was cash, so it was exactly $450. And then food, I didn't do a very good job of keeping my receipts for food. This is an estimate. Near as I can tell, it was actually $113. Food in Costa Rica cost about the same as it does here in the United States, or at least in the Midwest where I'm at. So I was spending between $8 and $12 a meal. And so that puts the total here at $6,291.83. Just real quick, my total here, my total difference is $13,580.17. I actually called around to dental clinics around my area and got some quotes. None of my quotes were this low. This is my estimate of what an average would be in the United States. Depending on where you live, if you're in a higher cost of living area, this number will be much higher. If you're in a lower cost of living area, it could be lower. But even with a lower number, that's still $13,000 of savings, $13,500. That's not nothing. That's honestly, if this was the number I had to pay, I would have been saving up for many more years before I was ready to pay this. So who is a trip to Costa Rica for dental tourism right for? I'd say it's if you have a fair amount of work to do in your mouth and you know that you can't afford to do it here, then it's a no-brainer. It costs less money. The level of care that I had there was the same as or greater than the level of care that I've had at dental clinics here in the States. And so I definitely recommend that from the perspective of if you need to save money, if you can't afford to get it done here, I'd say go ahead and go do it there. It's also really good for someone who enjoys traveling. So even if you maybe don't care so much about the cost savings, you may still want to go to Costa Rica if you really, really love travel. The people who it may not make sense for is someone who just really doesn't like getting out of their comfort zone and going out of their normal culture. If you're just not comfortable with leaving the country to get dental work done, you may think twice before this. There are some elements of you have to work a little bit harder. And so if that really puts you out of your comfort zone, maybe this wouldn't be the right option for you. For most people who are looking to get a lot of work done though, this is probably a good option. It really did save me a ton of money to go there as opposed to doing it here. Hey guys, I hope this has been helpful for you to understand the cost savings that you may be able to generate by going to Costa Rica to get your dental work done as opposed to here in the States. If it has been helpful, please feel free to like and subscribe. We have more adventures that come out every single week. If you have more questions about Costa Rican dental work or anything else, please feel free to leave a comment below. We're checking those all the time. Until next time.